Hi, welcome to this video today, which is on 25th February, it's Sunday. We're going to be looking at three high odds trade setups today, in our view. Going to the charts in a moment, they're going to be Euro USD, Euro JPY, USD SEK. We looked at Euro USD and Euro JPY in the week. I want to look at them again because we've just had the latest COT net traders positions out, which gives us the sentiment behind both pairs. And it's really interesting this week in terms of, I think, a move down, big move down in the euro is getting closer. Euro JPY already a nice move to the downside. I think it's going to confirm the next leg of the downtrend, which could be a really big one. I also want to discuss USD SEK. And it's not a pair that a lot of traders look at, but it is on most broker platforms. And I think USD SEK is shortly going to confirm a high odds breakout to the upside to cement a bull trend, a big one to the upside. And I was looking around the Facebook group, or our Facebook group last week. A lot of the traders in the group are already bullish and long. It's moved quite nicely. I think there's more upside. If you want to join our Facebook group, incidentally, you can join on the link beneath this video. When I finish talking about the trade setups, just want to quickly come back with some tips on catching and holding long-term trends. Also, for regular viewers, there's a video before this one which I have not released. You might think it's a new one. It isn't. It's the one of me doing price action trading with Krishna. I deleted it in error, so I've just put it back up. So you've seen it if you're a regular viewer. If you're a new viewer, I'd strongly recommend you go and look at that video. Krishna, great trader, and he's only 10 years of age. Now, we're going to start off with Euro USD, and we're going to look at the COT net traders positions first. For new viewers, if you are unfamiliar with them, click on the link beneath this video and join our mailing list to get more info. In terms of just watching the video through right now, just keep in mind what we want to do is always trade with smart money commercial hedgers when their positions diverge significantly away from the speculators. So right, let's look at the COT net traders positions.
On the Euro against USD, just looking at the COT net traders positions, this chart comes from COT base, which is, nice visual presentation. Now, we've got the commercials in red. They're the hedgers, the smart money, okay? What you need to keep in mind if you're a new viewer is they don't lose any money. They don't make any money. They're just hedging a cash position, okay? Large speculators are obviously funds out to make money. Now, what we're really interested in is when the commercials and speculators really, really go against each other. Now, on this arrow here, A, where I've noted the speculative long position, that is the biggest ever in history, okay? Commercials got their biggest short position against them. This is the tail of A, okay, on the week. And we come off, down, we come up, B tail tries to take out A tail, can't do it, and we come off. Now, what I find interesting about the B tail in relation to the A tail is if we look at the COT net traders positions, they come off the historical record net long position and dropped, then they've dropped back for a second week, okay? Now, what's that indicating in my view? It's just indicating there's not enough speculative buying power to push the euro up. Buying was exhausted on B, we've come back. And I now think, we've still got a very elevated net long position historically. This is now just going to exit on stop, and we're going to see the euro fall, or possibly could see the euro fall. 2 weeks of decreasing speculative longs, and their decrease is not huge yet. There's still a lot of speculators in the market, but if you look at the move up from really 118 right up to this peak above 125, the speculators generally were buying. Then he dipped slightly for 1 week and then they came back up. Now they've done 2 weeks. B has failed. I personally think we could be going down, so now let's shift to a chart and draw some levels of entry, stop, chart and Euro USD. Just going to draw my levels in a moment. Just keep in mind, this is my view as of right now. It can change in line with the market conditions. If you want my daily analysis, of Euro USD and 12 other major pairs. Get live access on the link beneath this video, all our COT analysis and also all our trading techniques. Now, just before I do my levels, just want to draw your attention to these Euro fundamentals, because they do not look good for the Euro, and they could trigger a big stop hit of that speculative long position. Now, just go through them very quickly before I draw my levels. Stimulus reduction. This has supported the Euro for a good while. The story now, the good news is exhausted. On Thursday, we had the minutes of the last ECB meeting. European Central Bank policy makers meeting last month rejected even a token change in the bank's policy, arguing that it was premature to signal policy normalisation. That comes from Reuters. They didn't even make a token gesture about winding down stimulus and when they're going to do it. Market was expecting that they would. I'll explain why they didn't in a moment, but the market still remains very optimistic of stimulus being reduced pretty quickly. And this is just a typical view from a major institution, Barclays, right? Stimulus gone by the end of September and a rate hike in December. No chance of that happening in our view. I don't think the ECB think that either. Even if we're wrong, that's now discounted in the price. But the problems for the ECB remain. Inflation is just too low. It's not going up. I've already said normalisation of policy relies on inflation rising. It's not moving. Also got another problem. Benchmark lending rates in the last couple of months, because of what's gone in the bond market, have spiked. That's a really big problem for them. Also, they've got to get out of stimulus and the bonds are going to be hard to sell. They know that as well at the moment. Also, they know that a strong currency is not good. They're going to be very cautious. I think the stimulus story now, in terms of supporting the euro, has gone. But the real problem is this, and I don't understand why this isn't a little bit more in the media. Matteo Salvini, sorry, I haven't said his name right. Salvini, if he wins the Italian election, I don't often agree with Jean-Claude Juncker, the EU president, but I do here. He's warning of chaos in the EU. He's been told off for saying it, but he's right. If Salvini wins, the euro will have a major, major fall. Why? Well, Salvini doesn't exactly like the EU. He's already dubbed them the enemy, okay? He's known as the Italian Farage, and he's got a good chance of winning. He's very anti-EU, and the mood of the Italian people is not very pro-EU either. If you look at the unemployment in Italy, lackluster growth, banking crisis, and go on and on. The people aren't happy. They could well put him in power. That's really bad news, okay? Also, last point I make is the SPD referendum in Germany. They're supposed to approve Merkel's grand coalition. It's discounted, but there's an outside chance, and it's not that much of a long shot. They might not. Okay, but the good news is discounted there as well. That could be an additional shock for the euro. Then, of course, on the other side, we've got the USD, which has been at a bearish extreme. The bearish extreme, in our view, was reached here. And that test here, the failure back, is indicating, in our view, a change in the fortunes of the USD, not just on the euro, but on a number of currencies. Now, right, let's draw some levels. Candle up to a new high here, which we saw the A peak, slumps back. Then we got the push up here. Tail takes out that tail. She slumps back. And I was saying at the time, we didn't expect to close above 125, and we would sell a failed breakout, which we did. We waited to come through these two candles here, 124.60, and we put in a position. We're always kind of early, and then when the major confirmation comes, we'll add in. But it's come down okay. It's come through the trade-day moving average. You've got three candles, just roughly the same. A little bit of indecision in the market. Now, in terms of it going up, if she jumps above the 20 or the 124 level, I'll just come back either through the 124 or the 20, okay? If you go up to 125, I would sell any weakness whatsoever, but I don't think she's going to get there. Just draw a quick trajectory line, which obviously lines up there with the 20-day moving average. Now, my own view is the real key level to take out to get things in motion, so to speak, and start hitting some stops is this level here, 122. Now, you can see the big blue candle pushes up, pushes off, brief dip through, then immediate recovery, and off she goes. I think, yeah, clearance of that 122 level, say 121.80 below those two bodies there, should be enough to trigger some speculative stops. Now, where would you want to put your stop if she breaks down? Keep in mind the 20-day is going to snake down behind price. So I would be behind this body, that tail there, okay? Which I think is about 123.50, something like that. And that 20-day will snake down, obviously, ahead of this line. Right. Where do I think we could go to? At the moment, yeah, in the member centre, I've got 119.30 as the first level. But actually, looking at the way things are, I think we're going to go down even lower than that. As the first port of call, okay? I think go down. So I shall adjust myself. 118, which is actually a weekly level. It probably doesn't show up so well on the daily chart. But I think we've got potential to go down there. Stop behind this level. You got yourself a decent risk reward, of course, if it comes off. But, for me, the euro, I say often it's not my favourite pair, but yeah, I just think she's getting ready. Getting ready to move to the downside. Nice move down. If that guy wins, Matteo, if he wins the Italian elections, I wouldn't be surprised to see 118 pretty quickly after the elections. We shall see. Right, let's move to our next chart, which is going to be Euro JPY. Right, we're on the chart of the Euro against the JPY. Is a fairly messy chart. It's a very attractive chart, though, when looking at the COT net traders positions. Now, did say in a few videos on Euro JPY last year, just our poorest pair in terms of performance. We've got a really good trade on at the moment, and I'm looking for far more downside in this pair. It's been a nice decline, more to come. Now, just before I draw my levels, COT net traders positions, we create these ourselves, okay? But just crossing the two major pairs to make up the cross, working out what speculators and commercials I've got in both Euro USD and USD JPY, and we get this. Speculators, 5.6 to 1 in terms of bullish over bearish bets, okay? So very bullish of the year, despite the falls. Commercials, 3.8 to 1 in terms of bearish over bullish bets, so they're still pretty bearish. The divergence between the groups is 9.4. Everyone who watches regularly knows we like a divergence above 10. And I didn't think this divergence would actually be as high as it is. It's nearly touching 10, despite what is a really good move down in the euro, okay? Points to more weakness for us. And rallies really being, sort of kind of dead cat bounces, not too much on the upside. Now, what we also like about the yen is there's just three bullish JPY fundamentals, okay? And they're really big in our view in terms of, or bullish, risk off. Any risk off at all is good for the yen. Risk on didn't hurt it. Obviously, Japanese yen, #1 safe haven currency. So risk off, possibly Italian elections, something else we should see. Bank of Japan stimulus reduction. They are going to have to hint that they are going to be winding down their stimulus program. I've mentioned this in other videos. They've already discussed it privately, how they're going to do it without spiking the yen. It's going to be very difficult. They have to do it, otherwise they risk a trade war with Mr. Trump. Also, what I like about the pair is Japanese EU bond holdings. Japanese investors hold massive amounts of EU bonds, okay? They held 20% of the French bond market alone. So why is that so important? Well, in risk off, where does that go? It goes home. What if the yen starts to firm? It's already firmed quite a bit. It firms more. Those bond holdings are going to go home because they're not worth holding anymore, because
you know, the yen is strengthening and cancelling out any gains that can be made. With that massive bond holding in the EU, I think that's significant. I think that'll all be going home. Right, now let's go to the chart. Now, in terms of up here, you had the COT diverge above 10, okay? And yeah, I think I said in the last video, but just for new viewers, we sold through here. Bang, she immediately knocks us out. And when you're using the COT, that very often happens. At the time, we just thought, you know what? We're just going to sell it back through these two bodies here. We do. We get a nice red candle down, slices through 136, slices the 20. We're then looking for prices to fade back to the 20. Blue candle gets about briefly. This red candle falls. And then from our perspective, we're going lower. And she goes lower. But it's pretty choppy. Look at this. These tails here, right? Now, where we're sitting now is a pretty critical juncture, in my view. Sorry, I'll just get my line. There. I think that level, what has to happen is that tail has to give way. But for me, this is a good support zone. Because, yeah, you break up above here and hold and up. Poke down here, here, here. You have one here. She got through, but she settled right back. Okay? At 131.40. She's really just got to get below. Yeah, as soon as she goes below 131 now, I think it's kind of lights out for the euro. I mean, we'll obviously have to see. But in terms of where I think we're going, I'm going to go for towards the 124 level. There is support in between at 128, okay? And obviously I'm pretty bearish, okay? Now, the reason I picked this level as my ultimate target, or my second target, that's when the ECB first said at some point they'll be exiting stimulus. Yeah, that's all they said. Okay, and off goes the euro and a really nice run up. Yeah, Japan is about to do the same. I don't see why I can't get back to 124 at all. Obviously, 128 is the closer level. Where would you place your stop? Sorry if I just draw a quick trajectory line. I think back behind that double trend line resistance, okay? So, yeah, if she goes through 131, I would have her back at about, yeah, behind the 133 level, and then see if she falls. For us, it's been obviously a great downtrend so far, but I think, you know, where we are now is a kind of critical juncture. Once the low gives way of Friday, yeah, we will be going down to 128, then 124. Obviously, if she bounces, then sell the bounce with a stop back behind the 20-day moving average. But yeah, extremely bearish of this one. And with those Italian elections coming up, could be a really good fall. But as a long-term trade, these three bullish fundamentals for the JPY, in my view, are going to get it down to 124. Well, we shall see. Right, let's move to USD SEK, and I'm actually going to do the weekly chart first. It's on USD SEK, a weekly chart first of all, just to see where the big levels are, to back up our view of the daily chart. Yeah, always good to look at the weekly charts. They give you the really big picture, and then you can zero in on your entry, stop, and target when you do the daily. Right, just for a look at the weekly levels, fundamentals first. Stimulus reduction expected too soon by the market. Riksbank has stimulus in place. The market expects them to reduce it pretty soon. I think they're going to be cautious with inflation data the way it is and other data. If they do what the market expects, it's discounted anyway, as far as I'm concerned. The euro, the SEK is a proxy currency, so it's been dragged higher by euro strength. Okay, what's a proxy currency? Well, just a minor European currency.
And they gain strength when the euro firms on the USD. The other proxies would be the Nordic cousins, so to speak, Danish krona, Norwegian krona. Then over in Eastern Europe, you've got the Hungarian forint, Czech krona, and what's the other one? Polish zloty. And if you look at the proxies, all 6 of them, they've all got similar chart formations. They've gained a lot of strength from the euro. If the euro goes down, though, then the proxies will get hit harder. Okay, that's why I always think it's good to trade a proxy if you believe the euro is going down. And I think this is a decent or a really good chart setup. No COT for the SEK, but speculative positions are elevated. How have I come to that conclusion? I did look at 16 major institutions today and their view of the SEK. People like Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, etc. 14 are bearish of the USD. Only 2 cautiously bullish. So that reflects the institutional view of this pair. I'm sure their managed money is short the USD. Also, we know that euro speculative longs are not far away from historical highs. And traditionally, if big funds buy the euro, they'll buy the proxies as well. So I think we can conclude that the specs are pretty short of the USD. But what we've got a double bottom here, and now we've got a nice move to the upside. Draw a trajectory line. So we're there. Nice big blue candle, and we're sitting just below this 20-week moving average, and we like the 20-week moving average just like we like the 20-day moving average. We always trying to work out if it might snap or hold. Personally, I think it might snap. Now, in terms of where could we go to if we break out, here, that'd be an obvious technical level. I personally don't think so. I think we're going to overrun. And I think, sorry, just get my line in. I think up to here, actually. That would be my first target. It's supposed to be big red candle breaks through. That's easily on the cards because of all the spec stops. I don't expect this cluster to hold her. So I think she'll punch up to there. Where would you put your stop? I think this double, this couple of bodies here, about 808. I think she'll punch through to there. Longer term, where do I think it's going? I think the USD is going far higher, actually. But I think this would do as a first target. But I don't see any reason why we can't get back up to here. From a longer term perspective, okay? So you got this 820 level here to break first, go to 860, then 9. You stop behind here. I think it should go through. She should follow through. Right, let's go to the daily chart and look at some levels. SEK daily. Now, I did say, obviously, we can take, or you could, if you wish, to take the USD on a breakout. I think you could also take it on a pullback as well. I don't really expect one, but you could get one. I think back towards this level here. I think this level will hold, okay? So body, 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 tail. You have one brief move through, come back. Then we decisively take her out with this candle. Brief move below the level and then off. But if she does pull back to this level, I think she'd be a buy. And I think the stop could be behind this tail. The 20-day moving average will snake up. So you just stick her behind the 20-day moving average, in my view. Now, on a breakout, obviously we've seen that on the weekly chart, the 820 level is significant. And it's obviously significant here because you've got move above, support, and then that big candle. That's where the fun buying really comes in. I think pushes her off to the upside. So, she gets clear of the 820 level. Give it a little bit of room. I think then she'll be going north. Where would you put your stop? On a breakout, I would say this would be support. But be safe. Go behind the 810 level. I wouldn't go as necessarily as low as on the weekly level. I think if she punches through, then she'll be, off to the north, so to speak. And you can see the upside potential. Obviously, this is the 850 level. This is the level we don't think is going to break. Obviously, we'll have to see how things go. But yeah, that's a really decent risk reward trade just to 850 if it gets there. But we've got 860, and obviously we're pretty bullish on the dollar. Like I said on the weekly chart, we think it'll go even higher. So I think this could be a really good trade. I know a lot of people in the Facebook group have been long for a while. I think it's okay, actually. Now, I was going to talk about tips on trend following. I'm not going to do it today because I'm actually losing my voice a bit. It's quite painful talking. So I'll do that in another video when I analyse some big trends. So that is the video for today. We'll see how these trades pan out. Thank you for watching me as usual. Take care. Have a good day.